Okay, so we've been asked to share routes between customer 1 here on router 7 and customer 2. Now customer 2 is part of the hub and spoke, and router 7 is luckily the hub site, so it makes it a little bit easier. So here we are on router 7, and of course we've got 3 different VRFs. We have the 2 VRFs for the hub, the spoke and the hub VRF, and we have CE1's VRF. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an extra community. We're going to call it exchange. So here we see it defined, set policy options, community exchange, members. It's a target, so 54591, we can have 111. We're going to have this new community exchange. And on the hub export to the BGP L3VPN, on the hub export, we're going to also mark our routes with community exchange. And on CE1's export up into the BGP L3VPN, we're also going to mark the routes with exchange. Now, the import that matters for the hub and spoke is the import for the spoke, because as we remember, the import for the hub is just to reject. So on the import for the spoke, we're going to be accepting the community exchange. And what will happen is we will see the routes come in which are marked with CE1 and exchange. Because they're marked with exchange, we'll accept them. Then of course we're also going to be receiving our standard CE2 spokes, and that's part of the hub and spoke operation. Now on VRF CE1, we are, as we said, going to be marking the community exchange on the way out. Then on the way in, we're accepting exchange, and we'll be accepting the CE2 hub routes. So this is a very effective way of sharing routes between different VRFs. We're not using rib groups here. We're using this sort of exchange mechanism to do that, this community, which is very effective. But we're also doing it on a single router, and that's where this command auto export comes in. Because normally when the routes go out into the L3VPN, they're not going to be analysed again for the VRF imports, but we want that on the single router R7. So set routing instances CE1, routing options, auto export, and CE2 spoke and CE2 hub. So we're setting this auto export on all 3 of these routing instances, and we're doing it inside the routing options, inside the routing instance.